कई बार 5-10 मिनट लेट से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं आजकल, ये तो ये हो रहा है।
ये संडे को कर सकते हैं रमन जी, संडे को हो सकता है आपका प्रोग्राम?
हाँ, संडे को भी हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो
तो एक तो
सकता है, वो
सैटरडे को
डिस्कस करके
क्योंकि
डिस्कस करके करेंगे।
लड़कों का बहुत इंटेंसिव ऑनलाइन क्लासेज रहता है ना, तो बहुत वो बिजी रहते हैं वीक में, वीकेंड में ठीक
ठीक है,
रहेगा।
ठीक है। अब आज का तो अभी हो जाए फिर।
हाँ, आगे आगे हम लोग ध्यान रखेंगे इसको। ज्ञानदेव अभी लेट है क्या?
नहीं सर, बस स्टार्ट ही करेंगे सर।
अच्छा।
अभी कुछ लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं तो करेंगे थोड़ा 5 मिनट बाद।
हाँ कराइए, ऐसा हो गए काफी 70 होने जा रहे हैं, है ना? सॉरी सर।
Now, should I start, sir? हाँ स्टार्ट सर, स्टार्ट करें सर?
हाँ बिल्कुल
सर वीसी सर, स्टार्ट करते हैं।
शुरू करिए, डॉक्टर साहब आ गए हैं। वेलकम डॉक्टर साहब।
Good afternoon to all of you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bihar Animal Science University, DSW, Bihar Animal Science University, Director Research Sir, Director Extension Thakur Sir, and all HOD of different departments. Myself, Dr. Gyandev Singh, as a convener of this webinar, extend my warm greetings to one and all. Welcome you all in this webinar. It gives an immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all of your presence in the interest of this of the entire Vasu family. It gives me tremendous contentment to be presenting the welcome speech for you all. Before we begin this seminar, I would
Recording
like
in
to express
progress.
my heartfelt gratitude. My heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have attended these webinars sincerely, and without your presence, it is not possible to make it a grand success. This event would have been impossible without your presence. And the topic of discussion for today's seminar is Ayurvedic way of health management in COVID-19. And the speaker of this webinar is Dr. Anchit Mitra sir, scientist, Central Ayurveda Research Institute, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. As you all know, today Ayurveda is relevant globally because of its holistic and comprehensive approach to health. And Ayurveda places great emphasis on prevention and encourages the maintenance of health through close attention to balance in one's life, right thinking, diet, lifestyle, and the use of herbs to maintain their health. Keeping these facts in mind, I welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Mitra, to highlight these expertise on today's webinar. And I welcome you all participants for showing their keen interest for this webinar. Welcome you one and all again. And now I would like to invite Dr. Raman Trivedi sir, DSW Bihar Animal Science University, for his introductory remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Gyandev Singh ji. And this second in the series of our this seminar, the second seminar of 2 days, I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, our senior officers, Director Research, Director Extension, and most important, our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Achintya Mitra sir, and all other dear teachers, professors, and my dear students. As you all know that during last webinar, I had informed you all that the series we are going to conduct, mainly the objective of the series is for the well-being of our students, both physical and mental, and how to lead a happy life in coming days, especially in the event of in the light of this COVID-19 pandemic. We all know that whole world, including India and our state, all are suffering because of this. In this situation, everyone is looking for some solace or guidelines, or guidelines means how to overcome this pandemic, how to avoid this infection. So all this will be dealt by the speaker today in a different way, especially when we know the century years old, thousands of years old, our own traditional medicine system, Ayurveda, which is given by Patanjali and many more saints, are being practiced by thousands of people, not only in this country, but throughout the world. So I personally know Dr. Achintya Mitra, who is not only great scientist, but also great human being and great big, you can say, name in Ayurveda. ये केवल हम लोग के बीच में आज बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ये बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म पर बोलते रहते हैं, स्पेशली many TV channels, private channels, DD Bangla, DD National, many, he's always in panels, many panels, especially in Calcutta and national panels also, many panels. And he is engaged in developing medicines, Ayurveda medicines. That is his primary research. And I have been personally benefited by him. Not only myself, my many family relatives who have visited his clinics and his institute, and his advices, the medicine given by him, by his institute, always had worked wonderfully to all of us. So without taking much time, I again welcome you all, and especially our keynote speaker, sir. And I must be thankful to you, sir, for giving this opportunity, coming to here and accepting our invitation and coming to this forum of Bihar Animal Science University. I hope that our students, teachers, and staff will get benefited out of your today's talk. So without taking much time, I thank you everyone for coming to
Thank you, sir.
this today's webinar.
Already some brief introduction about our speaker, Dr. Achint Mitra sir, has already been told by our DSW sir. But now I would like to give some brief introduction of today's speaker, Dr. Achint Mitra sir. Dr. Mitra has obtained degree in Ayurveda with distinction in 1996, followed by MD in Ayurvedic medicine in 2001 from University of Calcutta. Dr. Mitra had joined in Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, as a research officer in 2006 at National Research Institute of Panchkarma, Cheruthuthi, Kerala, and personally, presently he is working at Central Ayurveda Research Institute, Kolkata, as a scientist 3. Dr. Mitra has served extremely for the development and promotion of Ayurveda with scientific outlook since last 20 years. He has carried out 32 clinical trials in intramural and collaborative mode during last 15 years. Dr. Mitra has 89 peer-reviewed original research articles in high-impact journals, 4 book publications, and 14 book chapters so far. Now, without taking much time, I would like to request our speaker, Dr. Mitra sir, to start his valuable lecture. Sir, please.
Thank you. Namaskar. May I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Singh ji, for giving introduction. And I'm really thankful to that Bashu for giving me the opportunity to share my views on Ayurvedic approach to combat that COVID-19 disease. I'm just sharing my screen.
रविंदर जी, उनको शेयर करने का ऑप्शन दे दीजिए.
Permitted है sir already.
Okay.
But I'm not getting.
Uh,
Share computer sound, optimize screen sharing for video clips.
sir, green icon is there at the bottom. Share screen.
सर नीचे होगा ग्रीन शेयर स्क्रीन, उसको आप क्लिक करिए, फिर आपका वो स्क्रीन आ जाएगा उस पर, आप जो खोले होंगे आपके लैपटॉप. नीचे देखिए शेयर स्क्रीन है ना इसमें.
हाँ, शेयर खाली शेयर बटन ही है. हाँ,
नहीं शेयर है ना, शेयर को क्लिक करिए आप सर. शेयर स्क्रीन होगा सबसे नीचे.
शेयर नहीं ले रहे हैं. शेयर ऑप्शन तो है
आपका जो
Now I have even allowed multiple sharing. Yeah, it is there.
हाँ आ गया आ रहा है. आया था सर, फिर चला गया. आया था फिर चला गया. अभी आप देखिए.
आया है ना?
हाँ आया. हाँ आया, आ गया. ठीक है, उसको आप फुल स्क्रीन में जाइए सर. नीचे होगा आपका उसमें. ठीक है, आगे आप सर इसको
Okay.
फुल
Thank you. फुल है ना?
इसमें फुल स्क्रीन में जाइए, उसमें जब आप प्रेजेंट करते हैं ना आपके लैपटॉप में, इसी में होगा नीचे।
दिखा रहा है।
सर ऊपर स्लाइड शो में जाके व्यू
हाँ, उसमें भी कर सकते हैं, स्लाइड शो में उसमें व्यू करके यहाँ देखिए, हाँ ऊपर देखिए, यहाँ पे होगा ना, स्लाइड शो में जाइए ऊपर।
ऑलरेडी
कर्सर।
डन फुल स्क्रीन।
ये तो नहीं तो फिर से ऑफ।
Showing full
Okay,
screen.
okay, sir. You can continue, sir.
हाँ ठीक है, आप कंटिन्यू करिए।
Okay, it is, doctor.
Yes, yes.
अभी
now visible.
अभी आ गया सर, आ गया। फिर चला गया सर, आ गया था। इट वाज फाइन सर, अगेन यू हैव टू शेयर इट। सर नहीं आ रहा है, फिर से उसको शेयर करिए सर। मित्रों से आप सुन रहे हैं? कहाँ चले गए क्या वो? सर इज नॉट बीइंग सीन।
सर के यहाँ नेटवर्क इशू लग रहा है।
डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए।
सर ही ज्वाइनिंग अगेन सर।
ज्ञानदेव फोन से बात करो ना।
बात किए हैं सर।
मैंने बात
Hello,
किया
hello.
सर, आ गए सर।
Yes, may I audible?
यस यस सर।
Okay, extremely sorry, I could not.
बात की।
नाउ यू कैन शेयर अगेन सर, इट केम वेरी नाइसली दैट टाइम सर, अगेन यू शेयर इट।
But sharing is again the problem.
नीचे लिखा है ना शेयर स्क्रीन, उसको, हाँ आ गया, इट हैज कम सर, कमिंग, इट इज कमिंग, टेक्स टाइम सर, वेट.
It is okay?
It has not come, it is taking time. It is coming sir, ऑलरेडी आपका दिखा रहा है, लेकिन पता नहीं आपके यहाँ वो जरूर कनेक्शन का कुछ इशू. आप नेक्स्ट क्लिक करिए, उसमें जाएंगे शायद, नेक्स्ट क्लिक करिए, आ
नेटवर्क
जाएगा.
इशू की वजह से हो रहा है।
नहीं नहीं, नेटवर्क आ गया ना इनका, सर कुछ और इशू. सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड क्लिक करिए.
Okay. It is coming?
It is coming, but your first slide has, it is showing that Dr. Achindra Mitra has started screen sharing, but screen नहीं आया वो. Started तो आ जाना चाहिए. आप next क्लिक करिए उसी में, next slide. सर फिर चला गया, फिर से शेयर करना पड़ेगा. एक बार तो आ चुका था उस टाइम सर, फिर सर लगता चलेगा क्या?
नहीं है सर, है।
सर आई थिंक ही इज लेफ्ट अगेन, उसको बात करना पड़ेगा.
यस,
हाँ अभी आ गया सर, अभी फर्स्ट स्लाइड में चले जाइए.
Hello?
यस सर,
Hello?
यस सर,
आ गया सर, नाउ इट इज फाइन, यू जस्ट स्टार्ट सर.
Hello?
यस सर,
Audible?
यस सर, यस सर, फाइन फाइन फाइन.
May I audible?
यस सर,
हाँ सर, आप स्टार्ट करिए. अच्छा अच्छा से भाई सर, आप क्लियर.
नेटवर्क इशू है सर, वहाँ नेटवर्क इशू की वजह से।
স্যার আপনার ভালো চলে এসেছিল, আবার কি হলো?
May I audible?
यस
Yes,
सर, आप
sir.
ऐसा ही बोल दीजिए सर, अब क्या करेंगे.
हाँ,
आ नहीं
ठीक है, okay. That is the demerit of that video conference. Okay, just first I would like to mention that two terminology, that is Ayush and Ayurveda. As you know, there is a new word, and for the newer younger generation, they used to talk about the Ayush. Ayush is not a new system of medicine. It is the abbreviation of the some system of medicines which is recognized and accredited by Government of India. Among these, the Ayurveda is there. You know that Ayurveda is a age-old system of medicines with our Indian civilization, and being an Indian, we should feel proud that we have a own system of medicines. Many countries, they don't have their own system of medicines. And like that, yoga and naturopathy also the integral part of this Ayurveda, and also very much practicing in all over world. And as you know, 21st June is we are celebrating as a International Yoga Day. And there is another system of medicine, that is the Unani system of medicines and Siddha system of medicine. So for S represents two system of medicines which is accredited by the government of India. One is Siddha system of medicine, which is practicing in South India, which is developed with the Dravidian civilization. And another system of medicine which is practicing in the Trans-Himalayan region, that is the Swarikpa system of medicine. There is a claiming by the Chinese people that Swarikpa system of medicine is their own system of medicines, medical system of medicine which is under Ayush system, that is a homeopathic system of medicine. However, it is not originated from India, it is from Germany, as you know, and but it is practiced over India also. So this is that's why this is the abbreviated form of this all six recommended system of medicine togetherly is called Ayush system of medicine, where the Ayurveda is a major part. Today, we'll discuss about the Ayurvedic way of health management. As you know, we are passing through this second wave of the COVID-19, and COVID-19 pandemic in India we have started from the March, but the first case was detected in the 30th January 2020 at the Thrissur district of Kerala. And the medical students brought from the infection from that China is a medical student. And first, the case was detected in the Wuhan city of the China. And if you see that today, the globally as on 27th May 2021, there have been that more than 16 crore people confirmed by this infection, whereas 34 lakh people, more than 34 lakhs, about 35 lakhs people died due to the COVID-19. And India, about the 2 crore 75 lakhs people suffered from this COVID-19 cases, whereas more than 3 lakhs people died due to this COVID-19, if you say without any comorbidity. This is a serious issue nowadays. And if you recall that when that COVID-19 came to our country, our Honorable Prime Minister told that the 7 tasks to fight the COVID-19, among them, he has mentioned that you should follow the Ayush Ministry steps for boosting your immunity. So little bit we will discuss about that immunity and what the Ministry of Ayush has done in this journey. First, the Ministry of, because it is a new disease to every medical science, and Ayurveda also endorsed these problems and proactively did some activities, research and services also. First, the ministry has given the advisory on the challenges arising out of the spread of coronavirus in India, and the Secretary of Government of India, Ministry of Ayush, has given this advisory and guideline of the Ayush clinical studies in the COVID-19. That is the interdisciplinary Ayush R&D task force also developed, and clinical protocol also developed because it is a newer disease. And issue the notification of this research proposal. If you recall that there is a proposal in the March-April month of the 2020 to all the disciplines, all the scientific fraternity for the research on these issues, COVID-19 and related issues through Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha and homeopathic system of medicine. And we will discuss about this, what is the outcome of this proposal or the studies. Develop treatment guideline, because we don't have any treatment guideline for the practitioners to treat the patients. So that was also system-wise ministry has developed for the treatment of the COVID-19 cases. and guideline for research, clinical evaluation, drug development, and safety toxicity issues also formulated by the ministry. Telemedicine practice also started by CCIM and CCRH, Central Council for Homeopathy and Central Council for Indian System of Medicines. Develop training resource for the COVID-19 management in between, and develop Ayush Sanjeevani mobile application for self-care and immunity boosting measures. These all things we'll discuss in half an hour, and expedite the process of the grant of approval license renewal for the manufacturing of these medicines, because when the demand is increased and because we are passing through the lockdown, so we should have the adequate supply of these medicines. If people are aware but not getting these medicines, that is also create a problem. And very recently, nationwide distribution of the first clinically tested Ayurvedic or Ayush drug, that is the Ayush 64 for the COVID-19. If you see that the treatment or management or way of management, if we divided in that patient group is a 4 target group. If we classify, then it will be easy to discuss. The target group 1, those who are the healthy, those who are the quarantine or home isolation subject without corona positive test. They are not positive case actually, and they are prone to the positive, and there is a exposure like health worker, doctors, nurses, paramedical staff. So we can give there the preventive treatment. Target group 2, the subjects with a mild to moderate to severe and having the symptoms and with the comorbidity. Suppose patient is suffering from diabetes or the COPD or the liver problem like that, or the patient is taking the immunocompromised condition like cancer patient under chemotherapy or radiotherapy, or organ transplanted cases having this immunosuppressive drug. The symptomatic treatment we can give from the Ayurveda. And target group 3, which a vulnerable group we are telling, that is a pregnant lady or lactating mother, children, geriatric subjects, means those are aging more than 60 years, senior citizens. And then we can offer some integrated care of management that to boost up their immunities and with the regular observation. And target group 4, this is very, very important, post-treatment restoration healthcare. We used to say the post-corona cases. The patient suffered from the COVID-19, and after that, what kind of treatment we can offer? Because most of the causality cases or the mortality rate is very high in the post-COVID-19 cases we are recently observing. So this is a very important group. The treatment for the recovery and rejuvenation of this body, mind, we can offer medicines and the lifestyle through the Ayurvedic system of medicine. Again, according to the 4 groups, what kind of treatment we can give? We can give the preventive aspect for the general people, health workers, suspected or quarantine subjects or immunocompromised patients. We can give the preventive. And the therapeutic we can divide it in the 3 categories. That is the mild cases, moderate cases, and severe cases. The mild cases, there is some criteria for the doctors or the paramedical staff. We can give the mild treatment for target group 2. I have already explained what is the target group 2. Mild with comorbid conditions we can give, and there is some criteria like that oxygen saturation we used to say, and there are very minimum symptoms like the fever or sore throat or coughing, just maybe sometimes anosmia or weakness. We can treat it as a mild cases. Moderate cases, if there is a pneumonia developed and with the sign of distress, if there is a respiratory rate is 15 to 30 per minute, oxygen saturation is 90 to 94%, then we can consider it as a moderate cases, and we can give the therapeutic medicines in the moderate cases, and patient can stay at home or the safe home or in isolated places. But the severe cases where required that lifestyle life support, or that if there is a respiratory rate more than 30 per minute, oxygen saturation below 90%, then with the severe respiratory distress and other complications, then patient may be admitted and require the life care support. But interestingly, if you see that among the 100 positive cases, maybe 2% may be the severe cases. And if it is early detected, then we can treat it through the Ayurveda also. So the target group 1, for the preventive aspect, we can give some single drugs. Mostly you are aware about this drug like Guruchi, Tinospora cordifolia. There is a common medicine Guruchi or Guruchi. I think you are aware. If you consuming the 500 to 1,000 mg of aqueous extract of Guruchi for the 6 to 8 weeks, it will definitely boost up your immunity. Amla, consume of fresh amla. If it is not available, then you can use a different form of amla, Emilia officinalis, Phyllanthus emilica also. Yes. So that amla and the amla in the different forms, we can take this because, as you know, the amla is the richest source of the vitamin C, which boosts up the immunity. And if you take that 100 gram amla is giving 700 mg vitamin C. So one piece of amla, not a whole fruits, one piece of amla is enough for maintain your immunity. And interestingly, the vitamin C is you can't reserve in your body. So every day you have to take. And Haridra gargling with the warm water added with the turmeric powder, curcuma longa, and the pinch of salt and turmeric powder. You can take tulsi. Every house they're keeping the tulsi plant for a sip. Then frequently tulsi sips of water. Or I use also develop one formulation with tulsi. I'll explain later on. And tulsi is a fresh leaf with honey. You can also take. That is also boost up the immunity. Ashwagandha root powder, very very interesting that ashwagandha, as you know, that it is a panacea, as you know, that it will give the strength, but it also give the boost up your immunity also. I have in my practice in last 1 year, more than 1 year, I'm giving that ashwagandha root powder to that those who are having the exposure history or paramedical staff or the social worker, and everybody is getting, and nobody till now infected by the COVID-19 cases. As you know, recently there is a study with the IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, with the collaboration with the one institute from Japan, that ashwagandha roots having the otheferin OA, which is actually binding this the protein spike of this coronavirus. So that is a very good study. And in our clinical practice, ashwagandha root powder showing that good immunity for the apparently healthy persons. And if you consider the some classical formulations in Ayurveda, that is a Chyawanprash. As you know, every house is having Chyawanprash. 10 to 12 gram is enough, but you have to continue every day. Drakha Velaha, Indukanta Ghrita, Arvindasha, Balachaturvadra Churna, Ridra Khanda. These are all the classical formulations widely available all over the India. Anyone you can choose as per the availability and you can take. If you see that target group 2, if there is an uncomplicated illness, again, we can symptomatically like a clinical presentation. As per the clinical presentation, we can say the fever, cough, sore throat, nasal congestion, malaise, means body ache, and the headache. If there is a first line of treatment, we are treating in the line of the fever, and we have a lot of classical formulation, lot of options for this treating these symptoms. And the second line of treatment, if there is a dry cough or the sore throat like that, that also we have a good effective medicine. I'm not detailing this name of the medicines because it may be suitable for the doctors Ayurvedic communities only. And for myalgia also we have some medicines, classical formulation. If there is a mild pneumonia also and difficulty breathing, the first line of treatment, second line of treatment we can keep. That is also very promising and effective medicines as we are practicing. For the target group 3, as I already explained, the target group 3 means the pregnancy, lactating mothers, and the senior citizens, children. So as a Rasayana for the children, Rasayana means the rejuvenation of the children. We can give the Indukanta Ghrita, Kalana Ghrita, Aravinda Asha, Balachaturvata Churna, like that. These are the medicines commonly practicing. Rasayana or rejuvenation for the pregnancy and lactating mother. There is some classical formulations also. And Rasayana for the geriatric subjects, means senior citizens. But ministry has already mentioned by repeatedly that the common medicine Chyawanprash, which is the main source of the vitamin C and also main ingredients is amla. So that can be taken regular way to maintain your health, good health. Ashwagandha, Brahmi Rasayan, Shilajit, like these, the classical formulations also available. We are in our practice also, we are giving that Samsamani Boti. I have already mentioned in the single herbs, that is a Guruchi, or Samsamani बोटी का मेन इंग्रेडिएंट गुरुची है. तो 500 mg का टैबलेट दो करके 2 बार दे सकते हैं फॉर द एडल्ट डोज. अगस्त हरित की रसायन also be common medicine in the Ayurveda that can be also given. Chitta Gharite ki Rasayan, Brahmi Rasayan, like that. These are the all medicines available, and this is the age-old medicines. For the target group 4 is a for the post corona cases, as per because of the corona, you know, there's the lungs. Sometimes lungs become highly damaged, and as well as also some organs also damaged due to the COVID-19. Sometimes heart, lungs, sometimes the kidney also affected. Accordingly, we have to select the medicines, and like that, in general, we can give the Chyawanprash or other medicine classical formulation. For the improvement of the digestion, we can give Dadimastak Chuno or Astachuno, Vahingastak Chuno, like that. Medicines also available. For hepatoprotective drug, that can be taken by the any post-operative cases, Amloki Churno or Kalmek Churno, like that. And if there is a renal problem is there due to this COVID-19, so we can start with the Gokhuradi Gugul, Chandraprabha Boti, Punarnavasha, Rasayan Churna, like that. This kind of medicine we can take. Now, for the general people, we discuss about that Ayush Sanjeevani app, because as you know, the India there is a great variation and diversity. So in the traditional practice, there are so many variation and so many myths and facts we have seen. So that's why ministry has developed the mobile application named Ayush Sanjeevani application, and giving some direction by which people can easily accept these things, which are time tested. Like that, general measures we have told that you should take the warm water, lukewarm water, daily practice yogasana or any vyam or exercise, pranayama, meditation, at least 30 minutes. I used to say at least 1 hour. Exercise is very, very important because it is the non-pharmacological approach by which we can boost up your immunity, we can keep fit mentally and physically. And spices like the haldi, jeera, dhania, lasun, these are all we are using in our daily cooking, that we have to use in the proper manner. In Bengal, we have seen that haldi we are using at first for cooking, and we are frying in the oil. So definitely all the Aushadhi gun of this haldi will be burned by this oil. So it has no use. So like that, you have to change the cooking procedures also. That is very important. Ayurvedic immunity promoting measures like the Chyawanprash I'm repeatedly telling because it is widely available. That's why 10 gram every day in the morning. If diabetic patient also can take, but sugar-free Chyawanprash is also available nowadays. We are also telling that you can take some decoction or cloth, कारा जो बोलते हैं, जो हर्बल टी और कारा ले सकते हैं, उसमें एक फॉर्मुलेशन भी हम लोग दिया और उसमें बहुत सारी काफी फायदा भी मिला. तुलसी और दालचीनी, काली मरीच और सुंठी. सुंठी मीन्स ड्राई जिंजर. अदरक को ड्राई करके जो होता है वही सुंठी बोलते हैं. उसको मिला के हम पाउडर बनाएंगे और पाउडर को हम रखेंगे एक पॉट में और डेली उसमें चाय जैसे बनता है उसको बना के उसमें आप डायबिटिक नहीं हो तो आप शुगर ऐड कर सकते हैं, जगरी गुड़ ऐड कर सकते हैं, और if you wish you can add the lemon juice also. Honey also you can use, but honey you should use in the lukewarm condition. Don't boil honey. And golden milk, दूध हल्दी मिल्क, ये तो पुराना परंपरा है हम लोग का। तो आधा चम्मच हल्दी पाउडर 1 ग्लास दूध में घुल के आप रात में बेड टाइम में, आइडियली बेड टाइम में आप ले सकते हैं। Simply some procedures also you can do. The nasal application nowadays, so many videos are getting some nasal wash like that. These are old traditional practice. You can put the sesame oil, til tel, or coconut oil, or ghee. I used to say the patient we have a one medicated oil available in Ayurveda, that is the Onu Toilo, that you can put 2 drops in the both nostrils. Oil pulling therapy, you can take the oil in the mouth and you can gargle these things 2 to 3 minutes. Like that procedure also you can practice. But widely practice the nasal applications. I should tell everybody, keep your nose or nasopharynx clean by these procedures. And during dry cough or sore throat, as a home remedies, you can take the steam inhalation with the fresh pudina leaves, पुदीना का पत्ता और अजवाइन को लेके आप स्टीम इनहेलेशन ले सकते हैं दिन में 2 से 3 बार। और लॉन्ग पाउडर with the natural sugar or honey can be taken as a home remedies in case of the sore throat. So in a nutshell, we can say that a COVID crisis as a preventive measures, we can say we can take some medicinal plants, we can take some measures, traditional measures we can take. Generally, I divided into 2 groups, that is the non-pharmacological and pharmacological. Non-pharmacological, we do exercise, we take the spices in your recipes, and you take the hot water, lukewarm water, you take the steam inhalation, like that. Some medicines I have already mentioned that you can do in your practice to boost up your immunity for self-care. Government of India has given one direction that for that boost up immunity in the easy way, and that is standardized, that I have already told, that tulsi, dalchini, sunthi and Krishna morich. There is a 4-part, 2-part, 2-part and 1-part. 4:2:2:1 इस रेशियो में लेके आप ड्राई करके रख दीजिए, और 1 चम्मच मीन्स 6 ग्राम उसमें आप 4 कप काढ़ा बना सकते हैं. So Ayush काढ़ा is a very effective formulations and easy to take as a household for this boost up your immunities and daily life you can take. Another important thing is that in the name of Ayurveda or the traditional medicine, some wrong practice or the is going on. Some misleading advertisements also come into the notice. That is, you also aware about these things. You have to justify scientifically whether we should accept or not. Like that, that's why Government of India, they have a their central sector scheme on pharmacovigilance. They are also documenting that different misleading advertisements on these issues. I'm giving one example in Calcutta. When one sweet manufacturing company, they have developed one sweet that is the immunosandesh. So if you take this immunosandesh, your immunity will be boosted up. If you consider the making of the sandesh or the things and how much amount of heat they're giving and how much herbs they're using and how much the active principle of the herbs will be sustained. So we have documented, and there is a legal action was taken. Now they have stopped this thing. Another important thing is that one company, they have they are manufacturing this immuno bread, and they're giving some. You just see that they are misutilized this direction of Ayush Ministry. Ayush Ministry's recommendation immunity ingredients now in bread. So if you consider the making of that bread and how much amount of the heat in the oven then you can understand the active principle of the turmeric or the ginger will not sustain in this bread. So we have given some action, taken some action in this company, and then they have stopped this manufacturing this immunobread. This kind of practice is going on everywhere in India. So you should alert about these things in the name of Ayurveda, in of traditional medicines. Big company also doing wrong practice. So we are used to say the misleading advertisement. We have to alert for these things also. So in the research in Ayurvedic science, the COVID-19 uh, crisis inspired the Ayurvedic community, the research culture in Ayush discipline. And if you see that 203 clinical trial registered in the clinical trial registry of India. There is no separate entity for Ayurveda or other system of medicines. If you want to do some clinical trial or research, you have to have registered in the clinical trial registry of India, CTRI. After getting the CTRI registration, only you can start the patient enrollment, or you can give the medicine to the patient. This is the mandatory nowadays. So among these 203, we have seen that 125 clinical trial registered from the Ayush. 61.5% are from Ayush discipline. And out of the total trial registered, approximately 70% of the trial were sponsored by Government of India and various stakeholders of Ayurveda associated with the Ministry of Ayush. So directly involved, ministry is directly involved more than 70% of the clinical trial. Out of the said 58 registered trials, 52, 89% trials are interventional trials. Means we are giving some medicines, we are giving some inputs, and we are observing the results of these inputs. And only six studies are observational studies, like the survey or the collecting the data. The trend of the evidence-based studies of Ayush sector holds considerable promise to the public health of activities in India. So, because it is our own system of medicines, and it is also cost-effective solution in the comprehensive manner, if you consider. Now I will discuss some clinical trial which is very recently registered. Like that, if you see that some medicines, like that Ayurveda, we are telling that this is a multi-drug prescription we are used to do. We are giving Aushad Anno Vihar. We are giving some medicines. We are advising some lifestyle modifications like that, and also we are giving emphasis on the diet. तो इसीलिए कुछ ट्रायल ऐसे भी है पैकेज इवैल्यूएशन एफिकेसी ऑफ द फिक्स्ड आयुर्वेदिक रेजिमेन ऑफ गिलोय की घनावटी मीन्स गुरुची tulsi tablets, Calmette tablets, and Chyawanprash, and some certain companies sponsor. That is the interventional studies, and we are giving in the coronavirus positive cases, and it was done in the Maharashtra. Like that, another study is the post-treatment restoration of healthcare. I have already mentioned the very target group 4. It is very important group. That post-corona, that is you have to alert. And कोरोना नेगेटिव हो गया, मैं सब ठीक हो गया, ऐसे नहीं है. बहुत सारी mortality we are reporting in this stage also. So it is also interventional single arm uncontrolled pre-test post-test efficacy design study. There is if you know the clinical trial, there is so many design the investigator they performing, and there maybe some single arms, double arms. There is a comparative studies, and we are used to say that randomized placebo control trial is the gold standard. So that study also done in Tamil Nadu. And if you wish, you can go to the CTRI-NIC.in site. You can get all the information. Like that, I will discuss today about the Ayush 64. Ayush 64 was developed in 1979 to 1980 as the anti-malarial drug, and I'm very happy that the drug was developed in my center from Kolkata under leadership of Professor Osima Chatterjee. She was a chemist, and that was nowadays we are happy that the drug is very much effective after conducting the 6 clinical trials all over the India in the leading institutes. In the ministry, in the very last 1 year, 68 clinical trial performed in the 112 institutes, leading institutes. It may be ICMR Institute, CSR, DBT, DST Lab, and CCRS. They have also 30 centers. So all research study uh, almost completed in the phase 1. So we are getting IUS 64 result is very promising. I am showing just three effect of IUS 64 in COVID-19. That is the interventional study was done in Gujarat, multicentric trial. Efficacy and safety of the IUS 64 tablet in treating a mild to moderate COVID-19 patient. Interventional study that is also done in Karnataka, multicentric trial. A study of the use of Ayurveda intervention, IUS 64 in COVID-19. Interventional study also done in Rajasthan, All India Institute of Medical Science, Jodhpur. So these kind of the studies also conducted, and we got that preliminary reports, and thereafter Ministry of Ayush has distributed these medicines I-64 through Ayush hospitals in everywhere all over India. That is going on from the first week of that May. Now it is gear up. Different institutes are distributing free of cost for the COVID-19 asymptomatic cases, mild cases, and moderate cases, and the result is very much promising. And another important herbs also used in this present day, that is Guruchi, Giloy or Guloncho, Pinospora cordifolia. So many studies conducted in the different institutes, because in the Central Ayurveda Research Institute, hepatobiliary resistance, that is Odisha, also they have conducted on the studies in Guruchi. And CCRS, they have conducted prophylaxis study, that is Ayurvedic intervention, Ayurveda Rokha Kit, as a preventive measures in the pandemic of COVID-19, and community-based studies in the 20 centers of the CCRS, and healthy participants, residents of the identified SC communities areas, we have selected, and the studies also conducted. And another study is the Ayurvedic management of COVID-19 patients. That is the coronavirus positive cases also we have done in the Tamil Nadu. Another study, so many studies also done in the Guruchi or Giloy, that a study to assess the effectiveness of the Ayurvedic formulation Guruchi Ghanaboti. There is a classical formulations of that Guruchi, there is a Guruchi Ghanaboti, very age-old formulations, that is also used in the clinical trial. Uh, uh, so as a single herbs and also package in the comprehensive manners, also different clinical trial already conducted in the different part of the different institutes. Role of immunoboosting kit in COVID diseases, that is also giving with the intervention of Chabon Prasaboleo, Samsamani Boti. Samsamani Boti also contains that Guruchi or Giloy, and for the healthy volunteers, we are doing All India Institute of Ayurveda, Delhi. Ashwagandha, so many trials also conducted with the ashwagandha. We are very much aware of the ashwagandha, and that is the ashwagandha for the prevention against the SARS-CoV infection, a randomized hydroxychloroquine control drug. There is a comparison. One arm is the hydroxychloroquine, and another drug is a test drug as ashwagandha. This kind of studies also conducted uh, in the different institutes. So as a whole, if you see that the clinical trial, whatever registered in the CTRI, mostly the content the Chabon Pras, Neem, Kalmeg, Ayush Kat, Onutoilo, coded drugs, some companies also given coded drugs, Sahodevi Churno, Panchagabba, Tulsi, Ayush Rokha Kit, and some combination Ayurvedic medicines with CYP, means common yoga protocol. So given some medicines with that practicing of standard yoga protocol, common yoga protocol, that is also available in Ministry of Ayush website. This is the kind of publication also coming, some case studies. So if you go to that Ayush Ministries portal, then we'll get all the information, some Ayush information, basic information, Ayush drug and medicines research, whatever publication is that you can get that information, references, and also support, communication, everything. These are the Ayush research portal. If you want to get that more that information regarding publications or the trials related to this any not only COVID-19, that you will get from that Ayush research portal. Ayush has also formulated some guidelines for all the disciplines like Ayurveda. There is a guideline for Ayurveda practitioners for COVID-19 cases. As you know, this is a new disease, so that is also validated by Ministry of Ayush. And the post restoration for immunity promoting Ayush medicines. I think everybody you can practice in your daily life also. That is the Ayush Kath. Instead of the green tea or black tea, you can take this Ayush Kath. As I have already told, the formulation you can prepare in your home also, and also it is widely available in the market. You can take the Chyawanprash, especially in the post-corona cases. You should continue Chyawanprash 1 चम्मच करके कम से कम 6 सप्ताह से 12 सप्ताह आप थोड़ा लीजिए. With the and one thing you should keep in mind that you have to take the adequate water. You have to take the fruits which are available. जो भी फल आपको मिलेगा, कम से कम 3 फ्रूट्स हम लोग लेने के लिए बोलते हैं जो अवेलेबल है आपका लोकल मार्केट में. और आपका खाना का साथ थोड़ा लेमन और बिकॉज वो चाहिए, और जो भी एक बैलेंस डाइट होना चाहिए. और उसका साथ आप थोड़ा च्यवनप्राश जो पोस्ट कोरोना केसेस वो ले सकते हैं. और प्रिवेंटिव हिसाब से हम आयुष कारा आप ले सकते हैं. उसका साथ जिसमें इम्यूनिटी थोड़ा compromise है, उसमें आप गुरुची घना बोटी, शामशमनी बोटी, अश्वगंधा you can take also. It is not that all drugs you have to maybe taken by one person, as per the availability, and you can talk with your doctors also, Ayurvedic doctors. Ayurveda ministry also formulated some for recipes on the traditional food recipes. We have already forgotten that for recall and practice. You can like that. That traditional food recipe is available in the website also. You can download this book. That is Amloki Panaka. How to prepare the Amloki Panaka? What are the ingredients? What is the purpose that you can understand? Like amla squash, like that you can prepare in a घर में आप बना सकते हैं उसमें. तो ये वेरी यूजफुल बुक्स है, वो आप डाउनलोड करके और उसको आपको उपयोग कर सकते हैं. Ayush for immunity, last 1 year we are campaigning because our main mission was that to keep the fact or the science behind this propagation. There is some that is I have observed बहुत सारी मीथ है इसका, उसको दूर करना चाहिए और साइंटिफिकली उसको यूज करना चाहिए. जैसे हल्दी मिल्क हम लोग यूज करते हैं, तो हल्दी मिल्क क्यों यूज करते हैं? क्योंकि हल्दी में जो कर्क्यूमिन है वो तो फैट सॉल्युबल है, तो इसीलिए लॉन्ग टर्म यूज करने के लिए और बेटर एब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए आप दूध का सर देंगे. दूध में फैट है तो उसमें इजीली सॉल्युबल होगा और बॉडी इजीली एक्सेप्ट करेगा, बायो अवेलेबिलिटी आपको इंक्रीज होगा. तो इसीलिए लाइक दैट दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स वी आर गिविंग. Apart from this, we are also always telling that if you take that all the things, it is not like that you will not be infected. ऐसे नहीं कि आपको इन्फेक्शन नहीं होगा, आपको एक्सपोजर होगा तो इन्फेक्शन होगा, बट आपको जल्दी आपको रिकवरी होगा, स्पीडी रेस्टोरेशन हेल्थ होगा आप इसमें उपयोग करेंगे तो. और बट हम लोग ऑलवेज बोलते हैं कि आप हैंड वॉशिंग में ध्यान दीजिएगा, डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करना चाहिए, आपको पर्सनलाइज इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए. मास्क ऑलवेज बाहर में जब जाएंगे प्रॉपरली मास्क यूज करना है. जैसे अभी डबल मास्क का थ्योरी भी आ गया, कॉटन का मास्क तो सर आप 3 प्लाई मास्क यूज कर सकते हैं और N95 ऑलवेज यूज करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो डबल मास्किंग सिस्टम आप यूज करेंगे तो उसमें 87% मोर देन 87% आपको प्रोटेक्शन मिलेगा. तो वन थिंग इज दैट यू हैव टू प्रोटेक्ट योर सेल्फ, वॉट एवर द बेसिक बिहेवियरल मेजर्स यू हैव टू टेकन. Apart from this, to boost up your immunity, to keep healthy body and mind, आपको ये सब practice रखना पड़ेगा. There is some formulation also, National Clinical Management Protocol based on Ayurveda and Yoga. That is also formulated by the ministries, and that is absolutely for the doctors. And ministry has given state guideline for the practitioners, what kind of medicine and which category we can use. That is given guideline given in this direction. So thank you very much. I think it is a big chapter. If you want to see more, that you can go to the Ministry of Ayush website. Then you will get the relevant. If you have any questions, please feel free. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now there are some questions. Dr. G.D. Singh may read out some questions.
Okay. Sir, some question is there, 16, I think 16, 15, 16 is question is there in which some questions we have already covered.
Important वाला ही पढ़िएगा, 15-16 बहुत टाइम हो जाएगा.
Okay, sir. Immune booster medicine, Ayurveda and homeopathy. Shall we take both? If anyone, which one will be preferred? Homeopathy and Ayurvedic, we can मतलब हम एक साथ ले सकते हैं या किसको प्रीफर करें, होम्योपैथी को या आयुर्वेदिक को?
नहीं, ऐसे तो हम नहीं बोल सकते, लेकिन आप एक साथ तब भी ले सकते हैं जब आपका डॉक्टर के साथ बात करेंगे. एज ए होम रेमेडीज हम जो ज़्यादा इसमें बोलने का कोशिश किया, जो होम रेमेडीज और जो नॉन फार्माकोलॉजिकल है वो सब मेजर्स आप ले सकते हैं एक साथ. जैसे आप होम्योपैथिक दवा ले रहे हैं, तुलसी का पत्ता भी ले रहे हैं, उसमें ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ऐसे नहीं कि सेफ्टी मेजर्स में हम लोग बोलते हैं ना फार्माको विजिलेंस, अर्थात उसको कोई भी दवा में आपका कुछ साइड इफेक्ट और एडवर्स ड्रग रिएक्शन हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, वो भी वैरी करता है. ड्रग टू ड्रग, ड्रग एंड हर्ब्स, ड्रग एंड फूड, सबका साथ किसी का सब लोग सेंसिटिव भी नहीं हो सकते. तो इसीलिए बेटर टू अवॉइड दैट 2-3 टाइप्स ऑफ मेडिसिन ऑफ डिफरेंट डिसिप्लिन, वो अवॉइड करना चाहिए. उसमें ऐसे नहीं कि आप सपोज एक दिन ज़्यादा नींबू पी लिया, नींबू पानी पी लिया, तो आपका इम्यूनिटी ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. यू हैव टू टेक द लॉन्ग टर्म, ज़्यादा दिन से ज़्यादा समय से लेना पड़ेगा, तो धीरे धीरे आपको इम्यूनिटी बूस्टअप होगा. और होम्योपैथी आयुर्वेदिक जो क्लासिकल फॉर्मुलेशन और पेटेंटेड जो ड्रग है, वो आपको थोड़ा डॉक्टर का सलाह लेके ही लेना चाहिए. बेटर
Next question, sir. How to prepare गुरुची काढ़ा कैसे बनाते हैं, इसका डोज जो है हम कैसे लेते हैं, कितना डोज लेते हैं, कैसे लेते हैं? गुरुची काढ़ा, गुरुची एक्चुअली हमारा शास्त्र में जो है गुरुची फ्रेश लेना चाहिए, फ्रेश जूस. आपको गुरुची गिलोय जो है ना, उसका स्टेम मिलता है, स्टेम कच्चा वाला स्टेम, आप उसको जूस करके 15 ml तक डेली ले सकते हैं. बहुत ही पीता है, इसीलिए पेशेंट ज़्यादा लॉन्ग टर्म नहीं ले पाता है. और जो सूखा वाला है तो उसको चाय के जैसे छोटा छोटा पीस करके उसको बॉयल करके 15 ml to 30 ml आप ले सकते हैं पर डेली. लॉन्ग टर्म लेने के लिए मैं बोलूँगा 5 days in a week, 7 days मत लीजिए, 2 दिन छोड़ दीजिए, क्योंकि उसमें पित्त रस होने से थोड़ा हमारा वायु को वृद्धि करता है, मीन्स जो ड्राइनेस कर देता है शरीर को. तो इसीलिए लॉन्ग टर्म लेना है तो 5 days in a week लीजिए. और सबसे बेटर है, बिकॉज फॉर द यंग जनरेशन मैं बोलूँगा, इफ नॉट एफिकेसी एस्पेक्ट में, तो टैबलेट और डिफरेंट क्लासिकल फॉर्मुलेशन में मिलता है, वो ले सकते हैं. गुरुची काढ़ा दोनों टाइप का, एक फ्रेश जूस, आइडियली फ्रेश जूस लेना चाहिए, सरोस जो बोलता है, और नहीं तो सूखा के उसका छोटा छोटा पीस करके बॉयल करके 15 to 30 ml तक डेली ले सकते हैं. सर, ये जो थर्ड वेव की सुन रहे हैं हम, उसमें हम बच्चों के लिए जो आपने कुछ बताया, थोड़ा सा उसको अलग से थोड़ा आउटलाइन कर दीजिए कि इसमें कौन से बच्चों के लिए इम्यून बूस्टर हम दे सकते हैं और कितना दे सकते हैं, कैसे?
देखिए, बच्चा के लिए वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आप पूछा है, क्योंकि थर्ड वेव तो अनअवॉइडेबल है, और बिकॉज हमारा 18 प्लस तक जो इम्यूनाइज हो जाएगा तो खाली रहेगा बिलो 18 ईयर्स वाला. तो इसमें हम ज़्यादा बोलेंगे जे उसको एक बैलेंस डाइट सब दीजिए. यार अच्छा तो अभी घर में है लॉकडाउन का, तो बट घर में जो भी है कम से कम 1 घंटा उसको एक्सरसाइज और योगासन प्राणायाम ये सब मिला के टोटल 1 घंटा उसको थोड़ा स्वेटिंग कराना है, थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज, क्योंकि बच्चा लोग अभी लाइक कलकत्ता में भी लॉकडाउन चल रहा है और नहीं खेल पा रहे हैं, दैट इज उसमें इम्यूनिटी थोड़ा हानि होता है। तो इम्यूनिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए एक्सरसाइज कम से कम 60 मिनट्स बच्चा को रखना चाहिए, 1 नंबर। 2 नंबर, कुछ चीज है जो बच्चा पसंद करता है वो आप दे सकते हैं, नॉट एज ए होम रेमेडीज, वी कैन गिव सम मेजर्स। उसमें नींबू और जो फ्रूट्स है वो जरूर रखना चाहिए। और उसको कुछ मेडिसिन है, जैसे हम लोग एकदम छोटा बच्चा होगा 1 साल से ऊपर होगा तो उसमें तुलसी हनी रख सकते हैं। मैं जो जो बोला मेरा लेक्चर में, उसमें जो सुटेबल होगा बच्चा के लिए आप दे सकते हैं। मेनली उसका एक्सरसाइज और थोड़ा फिजिकल एक्टिविटी होना चाहिए।
सर, और सर ये गिलोय और आंवला का जूस मिलता है, और गिलोय और आंवला ऐसे मिलता है रॉ मटेरियल्स में, तो हमको कौन सा प्रीफर करना चाहिए, जूस वाला कि रॉ मटेरियल ऐसे वाला, कैसे प्रीफर करना चाहिए?
रॉ मटेरियल मिलेगा तो रॉ मटेरियल आप यूज कीजिए, उसमें एफिकेसी ज्यादा होगा, क्योंकि जो बटलिंग होके है उसमें डोजेस फॉर्म में सुविधा होता है, बट आप ट्रेडिशनली लेंगे तो आपको पास रॉ मटेरियल है तो यू शुड गो फॉर द रॉ मटेरियल में जो है उसमें लेना अच्छा है।
अच्छा, ये सर कोरोनिल की एफिकेसी के बारे में सर कुछ आप हाईलाइट करना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, ये तो बहुत इसमें डिबेट आ जाएगा। आई डोंट वांट टू टॉक अबाउट द कोरोना।
ओके ओके,
बिकॉज
थैंक यू सर। ये
नोमेनक्लेचर इटसेल्फ इज मिसलीडिंग।
ओके ओके, ये पोस्ट कोविड जो कन्वैलिसेंस होता है सर, बहुत लंबे समय से कमजोरी हो जाती है उसके बाद, पोस्ट कोविड के बाद, तो उसके लिए कोई ऐसी दवाई है आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन में जिससे हमको थोड़ा सा राहत मिले जल्दी?
एकदम है, यही मैं बोला, ये हम लोग का स्ट्रेंथ एरिया है। आप सभी पेशेंट को हम जैसे करते हैं अश्वगंधा देते हैं। अश्वगंधा इज ए वंडरफुल ड्रग। और हम च्यवनप्राश का बारे में तो बार बार बोला, क्योंकि च्यवनप्राश में मोर देन 58 इंग्रेडिएंट्स है और ऑल आर द रेजुवेनेटिंग योर बॉडी माइंड। सो ये 2 दवा आप दे सकते हो विदाउट डिस्कसिंग एनी डॉक्टर्स। और अश्वगंधा 3 to 6 ग्राम विथ मिल्क देने से अच्छा है। और आप च्यवनप्राश दिन में 1 बार, और उसको एक हेल्दी अच्छा खाना, डाइट ठीक होना चाहिए, वाटर इनटेक सफिशिएंट होना चाहिए, थोड़ा प्राणायाम योगासन ये सब करेंगे तो मेंटली एंड फिजिकली फिट रहेगा। दिस पैकेज ऑफरिंग फॉर दैट पोस्ट कोरोना केसेस।
सर, ये हाइपरटेंशन और डायबिटीज टाइप 2 क्या हम आयुर्वेदिक ड्रग से परमानेंटली क्योर कर सकते हैं?
आप तो ठीक ही बोला, लेकिन परमानेंट वर्ड थोड़ा ये कुछ बीमारी है वो आ जाता है तो जाता नहीं है ना। जैसे हम लोग बोलता है जैसे डायबिटीज एक बार हो गया, इन जनरली वो क्यूरेबल नहीं है, यू कैन कंट्रोल। तो आयुर्वेद में टाइप 2 डायबिटीज सर्टेन लिमिट तक कंट्रोल कर सकता है, और हाइपरटेंशन ऑल्सो। बट बोथ दोनों जो बीमारी है वो क्यूरेबल नहीं है। ऐसे कोई हमारा मैजिक नहीं है जो हम कुछ दवा देकर उसको क्योर कर देंगे, बट वी कैन कंट्रोल।
सर, ये हम दूध और हल्दी लेते हैं, हल्दी मान लीजिए दूध लेते हैं, दूध के साथ हल्दी, ये रिकमेंडेड है गाइडलाइंस इसका कुछ है अगर तो? और ये पानी, गर्म पानी और हल्दी भी हम ले सकते हैं, इसकी भी गाइडलाइंस कुछ है क्या? कहीं कहीं ऐसे लोग होते हैं जिनको दूध नहीं मिल पाता है, तो क्या वो हल्दी और गर्म पानी ले सकते हैं क्या, हल्दी का सब उसके लेने के लिए?
हल्दी तो डिफरेंट फॉर्म में हम लोग लेने के लिए बोलते हैं, लेकिन हम लोग जो एक्चुअली मेडिसिनल पर्पज में जो हल्दी लेता है वो कच्चा हल्दी लेने से अच्छा है। कच्चा हल्दी कैसे लेंगे? गुड़ का साथ मिला के ले सकते हैं। लॉन्ग टर्म लेना है खाली पेट में सुबह। और हल्दी मिल्क तो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल ड्रिंक्स है। मैं तो बोला जो हल्दी आप ज़्यादा मिल्क में दूध का साथ लेंगे तो उसमें एब्जॉर्प्शन ज़्यादा होगा, लेकिन वो गर्म पानी में भी ले सकते हैं।
और सर, ये स्टीम वाटर का लेते हैं हम, तो आयुर्वेद में कुछ ऐसा है जिसको हम स्टीम में डाल के और उसका वेपर लें? आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन में कुछ ऐसी चीज है? नेजल का तो आपने बताया कि नेजल हम तमाम तरह के ऑयल्स हैं वो लगाते हैं, लेकिन कोई स्टीम लेने के लिए कोई ऐसा प्रिपरेशन है आयुर्वेद में जो डाल के हम इसका स्टीम लें?
स्टीम लेने के लिए आपको सूदिंग इफेक्ट होने के लिए पुदीना पत्ता आप दे सकते हैं स्टीम में। पुदीना पत्ता देने से आपको थोड़ा रिलीफ मिलेगा, इरिटेशन कम होगा।
ओके। और सर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन कि हम आयुर्वेदिक कंसल्टेशन विथ आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर इज लिटिल बिट टफ देन द एलोपैथिक डॉक्टर। हम बड़ा आसानी से मिल लेते हैं, लेकिन कोई ऐसा पोर्टल है जहां से हम कांटेक्ट ले सकें, जहां हमसे किसी से कांटेक्ट कर सकें? ऐसा कोई पोर्टल है जहां से हमको कुछ कलेक्शन मिल जाए डॉक्टर्स का, आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर्स का?
नहीं, देखिए दो तरफ का सर्विसेज है। एक है सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का, तो जैसे वहाँ पर तो एक्चुअली हेल्थ इज ए स्टेट सब्जेक्ट ना, तो आपका स्टेट में भी होगा आयुर्वेदिक डिस्पेंसरीज और द कॉलेजेस। एज आई नो पटना में तो है, पटना में हमारा CCRS का भी एक यूनिट है, वहाँ पर OPD एंड IPD सर्विसेज है। और आप कोविड-19 के बारे में आयुर्वेद का जानकारी लेना चाहता है तो मिनिस्ट्री वेबसाइट में जाने से टोल फ्री नंबर टेली काउंसलिंग कंसल्टेशन का एक प्रबंध है अभी, उसमें उसका थ्रू कर सकते हैं।
Okay, thanks a lot, sir, for very informative lecture, and question and answer session was, I think, very nice. And now I will request to Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Bihar Animal Science University, for his concluding remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. J.D. Singh. The outset, I profusely thank our esteemed speaker, Dr. Mitra, profusely for sparing his very valuable time to speak to our students, our faculty on this occasion of COVID. I understand that your time is very, very precious and so valuable, but still you have come forth and addressed all of us on this very burning topic of COVID, and especially the Ayush and Ayurveda. We have a lot of interest, but many times the information, real, authentic information is not available. So it's good to listen to learned, scientists from Ayurveda, which we do not get many opportunities because we have very limited number of research institutions on Ayurveda. In fact, there are so many allopathic medical colleges, but comparatively the number of Ayurvedic research institutes, the Ayurvedic colleges are there in many places. So thank you, Dr. Mitra, so much for delivering this talk and also interacting with the questions which have been raised by audience. So it has been very informative, and I think we can bother you through personal mail or something if you can.
Sure.
Thank you very much on that. So in the name of immunity and in the name of Ayurvedic products, there is tendency, because of, I don't know what is the kind of regulatory system, then many products, spurious products, come into the market and they try to label. So you have given some alert on that also, that we should see and how the mechanism is there.
Sure.
It is our duty also to notice something like this. If it is coming to our mind, we can take opinion and then create more awareness. So thank you, Dr. Mitra, once again, and all the best. We are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your encouraging concluding remarks. Now it's time to propose formal vote of thanks. And for that, I will request to Director Research and PI NA HEP, Dr. Ravindra Kumar, sir, for their vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Gyandev, our respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rameshwar Singh ji, our guest speaker, Dr. Achintya Mitra, Dr. J.K. Prasad, Dean Bihar Veterinary College, Dr. A.K. Thakur, Director Extension Education, Dr. Trivedi, DSW, all our faculty colleagues and dear students. First of all, I, on behalf of the Basu family, feel privileged to convey my thanks to Dr. Achintya Mitra, the guest speaker of the day, and he has highlighted all the aspects of Ayurveda in a very simple format or way. जो एक स्पष्ट भाषा में समझाने की जरूरत थी, वो डॉक्टर साहब ने हमारे कई जो दुविधाएं थी उसको क्लियर किया. हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और हमारे जो स्टूडेंट्स थे उन्होंने काफी क्वेरीज भी की इस बीच में. तो ये सभी के लिए एक बड़ा ही इंफॉर्मेटिव टॉक था. और हम आज के सिचुएशन में जो अपनी लाइफ में सभी के लाइफ में बदलाव आया जो दैनिक दिनचर्या में, जैसे कि हल्दी का दूध और ये वो, एक इसमें भी कई जगह हर एक कोई अपनी अपनी एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे उसको मॉडिफाई करते हैं, परंतु एक एक्सपर्ट का ओपिनियन उस पर लेना और उस पर अमल करना मेरे हिसाब से हम सभी के लिए लाभप्रद होगा. तो आज के इस इंफॉर्मेटिव टॉक के लिए डॉक्टर मित्रा, आई एम हाईली थैंकफुल ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ बासु फैमिली एंड होप विल हैव much more interaction in near future. I'm also thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor for encouraging us to organize such informative talks. And I think Dr. Trivedi has lined up already a few more talks, motivational lectures now in coming days for our faculty and students. And that hope we'll have enjoy. Of course, we all are slightly down due to the atmosphere prevailing around us. So that will help us rejuvenate and come in form. I'd like to thank our Director Students Welfare, Dr. Trivedi, for organizing such an informative lecture. Dr. Gyandev, for the valuable presence of our Dean, Dr. J.K. Prasad, Dr. A.K. Thakur, Director Extension Education, to encourage the morale of participants as well as organizers. And at the end, I'll also like to thank all our faculty colleagues and students for their valuable presence, as without their active participation, this would have not been very fruitful. So at the end, thank you once again to one and all.
Thank you, sir. And I would like to convey my thanks to Director Research Sir also, and Director Research Sir and their whole team for helping us to organize this type of events in a very successful manner. Thanks a lot, sir. And now I would like I will seek permission for the closure of this meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. G.D. Singh. बहुत अच्छा
sir.
कंडक्ट किया. चलिए.
Record